This week I had a woman named Cindy pay $5 to be featured first in the video cast, but she didn't submit a question. So Cindy, if you send in the question, I'll put you first next week. But Kelly also paid $1 to be given priority, and she's the only other one that paid this week, so she is up first, and her question is about watching TNT programming online. She's had no problems up until just recently, and she's wondering what she can do. You didn't give me enough information, though. You are using a Mac. You didn't tell me if you're using Safari or if you're using Firefox or what browser that you're using. First thing I would do, though, is go into your browser and empty the cache. And you can do that with either one of those by going into the name of the program. So if it's Safari, click Safari in Preferences, or if it's Firefox, Firefox in Options, and then clear out your cache and try that again. More than likely, though, since it seems to be more of a global thing happening with other Mac users, it probably is something that's happening at TNT and it'll get fixed pretty quickly. Keep in mind, however, that there are other websites that you can go to watch programming from many, many channels. And I haven't checked TNT, but if you go to my website, helpmerick.com, one of my most recent articles, if I scroll through here, is right here on January 13th, how to watch almost any TV show on the web for free. And in this article, I have some links to other sites that you can possibly find the programming that you're looking for that'll work on your Mac. Good luck. This next question is from Gene, who's asking how, I'm assuming the question is how to remove somebody from blocked senders list, and I'm not sure what program you're using. If you are using, for example, Outlook Express, using Windows XP, you can click Tools, and then you can click under Message Rules, Blocked Senders List, and then you'll find a list of the folks that are blocked, and then you can remove them from that list. If you're using something like Hotmail or Yahoo Mail, you're going to have to go into the options of those programs, find the list of blocked users, and remove the user that you want to remove. Sipora has an interesting question about someone who she's calling a friend that's kind of tracking her online somehow or another, and she's wondering how he's doing it. Well, with one thing with Gmail, there is a section on your left-hand side of your screen, usually it's on the left-hand side, that shows whether you're online or you're offline. Well, there's a section here on your Gmail called Chat, and what you can do is, if it's got a plus sign, click the plus sign so that you can see what your status is. And by clicking this little arrow here, you can choose whether you want to be invisible, which in case no one will see when you're online, or whether you're available, which is green. Don't use the red because they'll still know you're online. The invisible, I think, is what you want to try to do, or you can even sign out of chat altogether. But try that for a few days. More than likely, you're going to find that your friend in Scotland won't know when you're online. Next up is from Louisa, who has some runtime errors. She's using Windows XP, and Louisa, probably what's happening is, A, you either need to update your Internet Explorer, or if this is truly happening when you log in to your computer, then there's some program that's starting that's using Internet Explorer that's causing the problem. And it does say in your text here, Super Tab. You could look for that by going to msconfig. You'll find a bunch of tips on my website on how to use msconfig, and try to find Super Tab, uncheck it, see if that doesn't get rid of the problem the next time you restart. Keith, I think what you're using here is some kind of beefed up version of McAfee that includes a very strict firewall, and in your case probably a wireless firewall that's trying to monitor too many things, which is another reason I'm not a big fan of McAfee and Norton, because sometimes they do so much that they cripple your ability to do anything. Now, in your case, I think what you're going to have to do is go into the McAfee settings, and if it's giving you this ASCII 2 or hexadecimal characters, then that means that if you, instead of like a password like my wireless password or something like that, where we can read it, it's more of a cryptic thing where it's A09A, B, C, things like that, which are hexadecimal type characters that it's looking for. But you might want to even go in and look into the options of McAfee and disable its ability to manage your wireless connection and leave the management with the Windows Wireless Manager. Alberta, what you're experiencing is what's called text encoding. When we send emails back and forth to each other, no matter what email program we're using, the program has to encode the text in a certain type of a way. And more than likely the error is actually on their end, where they're not being able to decode the text encoding that you're sending them. What I'm going to suggest is the next time you send an email, when you're in your email editing, go over here to the right-hand side, right over here at the top, and choose plain text. It's going to say, "Are you sure?" and say, "Yes, I am." And then when you change it to plain text, the characters that they receive, and if you copy and paste information into the email, it should be much more universally read by the folks that are having problems. Good luck. Elvin's received an electronic drum pad that he's connected to his computer, but he says he's still not able to use it. And I'm wondering if you've got it connected, but did you also install the software that came with that particular drum set, or do you have to buy a separate software in order to interface what you're playing on the drum with what the computer is hearing, so to speak? And I think that's going to be the thing you're going to need to research. You didn't give me a brand name of what particular piece of equipment you're using, but I would also go to their help forums or their help site on the web and see if they can give you some answers as well. Hasim has a question about changing the background of his new Windows 7 computer, and what I'm going to guess, Hasim, is that you're probably, because didn't have enough information, but I'm going to guess that you're using a netbook or a lower end computer that's using the real basic version of Windows 7, and I forget what they call that off the top of my head, but that version does not allow you to change the wallpaper. Unless you're using the Home Edition or higher, you can't change the wallpaper on Windows 7. Last question today is from Donna, who just put simply free antivirus, and she's using Windows 7. So what I have you do is go to my website, helpmerick.com. Once you arrive at my website, go over here to the right-hand side under the search box and just type in Microsoft Security and hit enter or click search, and the first result you will get is how to install and use Microsoft Security Essentials, and that is my current recommendation for the best antivirus that you can get for free for Windows 7, and I'm also using it for Windows Vista and starting to use it more in Windows XP as well. Thanks for writing, everyone, and I'll be back again next week with more of your questions and my answers. Thanks.